After completing the quest Spirit of War for Necromancy, you'll have access to killing Hermod, which is a repeatable boss that drops plates used to upgrade your gear to tier 70, 80, and 90. Once you do complete the quest, I highly suggest you to make and upgrade the plate body so that it's tier 70. And this will be an AFK guide for the basic and the advanced version. So let's take a look at our armor. Right here. Now, there's going to be a couple of things to note, and that is that I do have the 99 archaeology skill with persistent rage relic. You are able to do it without it, but for the inventory, I have 2 overloads, 5 super restores, some magic notepaper for the unnoted crystal keys, which if you don't care about those, you can just leave them on the floor. And I do have 8 sharks. The pouch in my inventory is the Holy Scare, which halves the drain rate by 50%. If not, you can either use a Bunyip, a Fire Titan with the Fire Scroll so that you're able to heal, or the Unicorn with the Unicorn Scrolls. The Fire Titan spec, when you use the scrolls, it will heal you, but it will cost adrenaline. If you have the Unicorn, it will not cost adrenaline. And I do have the Ancient Elven Ritual Shard, which just restores prayer, and I do have the Excalibur, which does restore health. And at the very bottom, I have some Ectoplasm. This is to summon or conjures and summon. For the equipment, sadly, I was unable to do this beforehand, so my gear is like best in slot pretty much. It's just tier 90. But I am using a 99 skill cape, Asylum Surgeon Ring, and the Salve Amulet. My weapons are perked with Precise 6 on the main hand and Equilibrium 4 on the offhand. For the advanced version portion of this, you just want Aftershock 1 with Precise 6 and Equilibrium 4 on your offhand. Now, my armor is not perked, thankfully, but you will benefit if you are using Invigorate, the Undead perk, Impatient, and Crackling, along with Biting. Now, since it's your first time and you only have the plate body, since we did get that free plate, you're able to get Icarus or Siliske legs. Augment them, and you'll be killing the boss until you get plates, in which case you can upgrade that. One more thing to note is that this is the Revolution ++ bar on screen, in which case you just want it to set to 8. After that, make your way to the boat, which is north of the lodestone, and it's right here where I'm at. And we'll be speaking to Karen. She's extremely hard to see, but she is a ghost after all. So right-click travel. As for the auras, it depends. If you're getting smacked a lot, you want to use Vampirism aura. If you're not, and let's say you're low on super restores, you can use the Penance aura. Inspiration, I do not know if dark magic works or not, or the Majra aura. For the quick prayers, again, this is going to be like a low level version, but you want to have the Deflect from Necromancy, Leech Necromancy attack that requires 83 prayer, and Leech Necromancy Strength, which requires 85 prayer. So, enter, start, and remember, since I have the Persistent Rage Relic active, I will always maintain 100% adrenaline after each kill, so the kill might vary to you. So start, run north, drink your overload, drink your prayer, and right here, just attack the boss. Your revolution bar should summon everything. If you want, you are able to right here, once the boss smacks and disables your prayer, you can either just re-enable it, or if you do have a high prayer level, you are able to soul split, in which case the boss will only disable protection prayers. And then as you see, he did smack again, which did hit me for a 2.2k. So again, this is pretty much where the food and your bunyip or unicorn does help get your health back, and of course using auras as well. And I accidentally instant killed him once his health got too low, but I'll wait again, which does take about 30 seconds. That's the only downside. After 50 seconds that the boss has been spawned for, he will summon minions, in which case he will be unimmune and you will need to attack him. But thankfully our spectral scythe that is on the Revolution Plus bar, you're able to AFK him, and hopefully the little 2 minions go to you and he's not stuck behind the boss cell. Otherwise, you can pretty much just AFK this, and then from time to time keep an eye on if the boss is immune forever, because sometimes the minions does spawn south of him, in which case bosses do block other NPCs. And then this revolution bar should expect to get you about 36 kills hourly, which does give you 190,000 necromancy XP per hour, which is pretty helpful. For the advanced armor, this is what you'll be running. Our preset is pretty much the same, except we have more super restores and less food. As for our familiar, we'll be rocking the Blood Reaver. If you do not have access to ancient summoning, you will need either a bunyip or a unicorn, as they do heal you. Except the unicorn, you will need scrolls and you will need to manually use a special attack to heal you, but it will not drain your adrenaline, which is extremely useful. As for your armor, I am rocking the Zuck cape. You are able to use the one from normal mode, as it reduces adrenaline cost of death skulls, which does mean we put that in our rotation. And we did upgrade from the Silent Surgeon Ring to the Reaver's Ring, and we are rocking the Cinderbane gloves. Make sure to bring weapon poison as well, and I've noticed a huge difference if you're using Aftershock 1 Precise 6 perk. As for the Revolution bar, you'll want this right here. So the Conjure Skeleton, which, don't worry, you don't have to pre-summon this or anything. Death Skulls, Spectral Scythe. This is going to be very helpful for the minion spawns if you do get any. Soul Sap, Volley of Souls, Finger of Death, and Touch of Death. So with that, let's make our way here. Summon your Blood Reaver, right click, Karen, and travel, although I wish you had left click. And now we go north once the area does load. Poof, now that we're here, enter the chamber. And for our quick prayer, we will be using Soul Split and Sorrow, which you only need 95 prayer and to have speak to Selena over and over again till she tells you and learn to. So let's start the hour. Run north. Drink your overload, have your auto retaliate on, and I like to stand in this exact tile right here. And now we just let our Revolution plus plus get rid of the boss pretty much. As for the auras, I do suggest you to use Majrav Aura as it does impact the Necromancy DPS. And if you want to stay here for a long time, you can use Penance. And then just bring like 4 or 5 Holy Overload potions so that you can stay here for at least 2 hours if you do reset it. Just make sure to leave out the instance and re-enter. The only issue is if you get too many plate drops, which is actually good, you're able to high up them or make them into armor and sell it to the Grand Exchange if you are an iron account. If you're a main account. And without moving, you can drop something, make sure area loot is enabled, and voila, just make sure to move the little loot interface somewhere where you have access to it. Now, as for the drops, there's really 2 things you want to go for, and that's the Hermodic plates, which again is used for the armor, or the animated drumsticks, which is required for the quest. That old black magic. So you have to do this boss enough times until you get these sticks, and then you'll have access to completing that quest. But with that, thank you all so much for watching this guide on both the beginner and the advanced version of how to AFK Hermod. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, as it really does help